Hi everyone. In this given problem statement, we have to solve unique paths 2. It is similar to the unique path 1, only difference that here we are going to have obstacles. So it's given that we are given n cross n matrix and we would be starting from 0, 0, 0 row. We have to reach m cross n. So let us take this matrix. Here, right, it is a 3 cross 3 matrix. We have a obstacle, let's say some obstacle out here. A stone, or let's say somewhere, we'd be starting from 0, 0 and we'd be need to reach m cross n. So here, right, one thing to understand, right, to solve this type of problem, we already know, right, we have to use dp and specifically dp on grid. So you can solve this problem in two ways, one with the help of recursion, other with the help of tabulation method. Here, right, we can say, right, what would be our starting point. So our starting point would be 0, 0. So the first value would be 1. Then we can take here we can move only left and right. Initially, right, all of them are basically 0, right? Then I can say, right, if I move to this direction, then it would be, I can say the, let's say result, or let's say result of I and j is equal to, let's say, this is an example, right? So result of I plus 1 j and result of I and j plus 1. So here, right, we can move in this direction. So that is the basic idea. So initially all of them that 0, right? So what would be the value? So this value would be coming from either a person can move from this direction or a person can move from this direction. Okay, so what are the possibilities here, right? Because it's already there is an obstacle, right? So it is going to be a permanent 0. So because also one more thing, right, it's only left and right, so upward movement are not possible. So here, right, as you could say, right, only leftward movements are possible, so all of them, right, are going to be 1, and similarly here all of them are going to be 1. Now here, right, left movement is possible and down movement is possible, right? So this row, right, is going to be summation of this one and this one, but here it's already 0, right? So this value is going to be just be 1. Similarly, right, here the value is going to be summation of this row and this row, but because it is already, in this case, right, it's already 0, so summation would be 1. And here it would be summation of 1 and 1, so the result would be 2. And at last, right, we have to result the whatever value is present at m cross n, and as you could see, the output is 2. Here, right, I'm going to show you, or I have already solved, I think, another problem with tabulation. So just to keep the mix, I would try to solve this problem with the help of recursion. So here, right, I can say I would be starting from 0th index, right, and I would be saying if any of the row or the column. So here I try to write some base condition, right? So I hope this problem is pretty clear to you, how you're going to take this up. So if you're going to do tabulation, right, so I would suggest, right, give the initial value as 1 and fill all the values initially, right, all of them would be 0. So fill all values on the top as 1 1 1, the way I have shown you, and every values on the left as 1 1, and then you just do the result, right? This formula or this idea you can apply. Here the time complexity, if I have to discuss, right, it is going to be big O of m cross n, and if you're doing through recursion, so recursion tree would be required, so you can say the space complexity would also be the same, big O of m cross n, and it's a kind of a linear time solution. Linear solution. And so I think this should be pretty clear to you. Now let us jump to the Python solution. Before that, right, one thing I forgot, or I think I already specified, in case there is an obstacle, right, it is going to be a permanent zero. So you do, whenever there is obstacle, right, so you do not need to do summation of this cell and this cell. That is not required. It is going to be a permanent zero because there is an obstacle, so there would be no paths possible. Now let us jump to the Python solution. To solve the problem, right, let us first take the dimension. So it is m cross n matrix. So it would be length of obstacle grid is TACLE, grid in capital GRID, and then length of GRID of 0. So that is the idea. Now we are going to call our DFS function. So from our m minus 1, right, we are going to do it in reverse order. So we can also do it in any order, right? So we can start from m minus 1, n minus 1 and go to 0, 0. Or we can say we can start from 0, 0 and go to our m cross n matrix. Any way is possible. So only some things are going to change. So DFS, and here I can say m and n, and we are going to solve it with memoization. So without that also we can do, but that is going to cause issue and it is going to give a runtime time limit exception. So here, right, the first thing that you need to check, so if m and n in memo, then just return memo of m and n elif m equal to 0 and n equal to 0. We are at the first, means 0, 0th row, right? Then I can say return 1, but also there are possibility, right, in case, right, the one that we want to reach, right, it already has an obstacle, then it is no longer possible for us to reach that position. So in that case, right, I can say if obstacle, if grade of I of m and n equal to 0, else, right, in case obstacle is there, right, we are going to return 0. One more condition could be, let's see if we're going out of bounds. So if m less than 0 and n less than 0, or and in there is an obstacle grid, so OBS TACLE grid of m and n equal to 1, in that case also we can return 0, and else it would be memo of m and n equal to, we can call our function, so DFS of m minus 1 n, we also have to pass in the memo plus, so the movement can be in left and right, means it can be movement in the either to the left or it can move towards down. So to take those, right, we are going to do m and n minus 1 and memo, and at last we can, after this recursion is done, we can just say return memo of m and n, and at last I can call return DFS, and I can pass in m and n. Yeah, obviously we have taken the length, right? So it should be lesser than that, so we have to take that into count. Let me run the code. Yeah, I made one spelling error. It should be grade, and I think it should be memo of 0 and 0. Let me check. Yeah, no, it's correct only. So now it's done, right? Let me now submit the code. As you could see, the test case is passed. I think it's giving some error. Let me resubmit it. It should be way faster. Let me check. Have there some error? I think there could be small tweaks that could be done. But overall, right, if you look into it, it's pretty efficient. I once tried it, gave me 100%. So anyway, I think I'm not able to replicate that. But anyway, right, you should not pay much attention to the lead code runtime because it's generally it gives a lot of errors, so you can ignore that. But right, if you look into time complexity, it's in a linear time solution. We're just solving it in m cross n time complexity. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.